should be the last video that we make on the Falcon before we strap it to the dyno and try and make some good power with it. That's a bit exciting. Very last thing that we have to tackle for this car, we've done the turbo, everything else around the car. The only thing we need to do now is the fuel side of it. But before I get into any of that, I'll be completely honest. After the Christmas break and stuff like that and me working on the car, I have absolutely destroyed the garage. There is so much junk just everywhere. I need to fix it all up. I need to put my tools back in my toolboxes. It looks terrible. Personally wasn't expecting to work on this car as much as what I'd had over the last couple of weeks with the whole timing cover situation and doing that over Christmas and stuff like that. It sucked. I used this garage right here to run my business out of, and unfortunately it meant having no customers over about 2 weeks. Which means I haven't actually done a job on a car in almost 3 weeks now, and it is like killed me. It's brutal. I had to push back customers. I felt bad. The main thing was actually the Evo though. I went to go get some parts for this car, the timing cover and everything else as well. I went to go take the Evo out for a drive, and it spat a harmonic balancer, which you guys can see right here. As you guys can see, that harmonic balancer is just in 2 pieces. I was just idling and the thing just destroyed itself on the driveway. So luckily I wasn't ripping it around the mountains or something, but yeah, that's fun. Okay, let's get this place tidied up. Then we can start on dropping the tank in the ute, and we can also put on the fuel pressure regulator from Turbo Smart. So let's quickly do that. Another thing I'm currently having an issue with the Falcon is it'll drive completely fine. Like there's coolant circulating through the entire lot. It'll drive, no worries at all. It won't get hot, it won't do anything, it won't bubble out the thing at all. Everything is like completely fine with the car. But whenever I turn the car off, and it's happened about 5 times, whenever I've turned the car off, this thing boils over. I have attempted to do so many different things to this car to try and make it work, and I've literally driven it to and from Geelong, and it'll hold its coolant, no worries at all. There's no leaks and there's no anything. After about sitting, the block boils the coolant, and then it boils out of here, and then I lose like, you know, a litre of coolant, and I don't know why. Alright, so garage all cleaned up now, which is a nice breath of fresh air. Now we're going to pull the car in, make the place all messy again because we're going to be doing the fuel pump on the Falcon. Now, I'll show you some other stuff really quickly before we jump into it. A few parts we're going to be installing on today's video, so let's quickly jump over there and have a bit of a look. So this right here is everything for today's video. We have a Walbro 460 or Ti Automotive 460. Now this one here is a more Falcon orientated kit, I believe. It's a EFP 452. Apparently it's the same dimensions as the one that's in the car at the moment, so we'll make that work today. Now I also have 1 or 2 hoses here, so these are brand new, either 10mm or 8mm hoses. Now I'm not quite sure which one's going to be working with today's kit, so I'll let you know as soon as possible. Mez from Bow of the World just gave me both of these to try so I can find out for him. Now it's not necessary, but George also recommended that I get an FPI compact. Now this is going to bolt directly into the factory Falcon fuel rail. Very, very cool big kit. And then of course when we do that, we also need a gauge as well so we can make sure we have good base fuel pressures. So I picked up a Raceworks fuel pressure gauge as well, so I'm just going to quickly assemble that, put that into there, so we can then bolt that directly down into the rail, and then we'll remove the tank and we will do all this stuff. So can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. I really don't want to remove the tank on this thing, but can't be as bad as the Evo, right? Hello James, how we doing? Nothing much. How we doing? Nothing much.
How we doing? Nothing much.
How we doing? Nothing much.
Looks like you're doing a lot, man.
Apparently.
Doesn't look like nothing much.
It looks like a lot, but I've done absolutely fuck all. So,
right.
yeah. All right. We're at Autobahn. I came here to just come pick up. Oh, annoyingly, I didn't have anything to actually use as heat shrink for the fuel pump because I was having a look at the fuel pump just before, and everything looks pretty good. However, if I'm going to be wiring it up into the car, it comes with a plug, and then it comes with this right here, and that goes to nothing. And I didn't have anything else. I would have had to just splice the wires, which means there is a possibility if I left it open to end up shorting on something. So I need to come here and grab some fuel safe heat shrink, which I have in a kit somewhere over here. So I've just picked up this Raceworks kit really quickly. Comes with everything, including the wiring and everything, but also comes with Raychem heat shrink as well, which we're going to need. So With the tank, we are going to be, or I'm going to be quickly jumping up and removing this tank. So this is the tank in the FG. I've got a stand over there, which should be all good. But yeah, the tank actually looks pretty simple to remove. So we've got one bolt there, one bolt up there. And then we also have these three here that we need to disconnect and then move out the way of these, which is probably going to be a little bit annoying, but we should be right. And then we also have the fuel hose, which I'm going to disconnect up there as well. So it should be nice and quick. I'm going to jump across, do all that right now. Should be quite easy to do, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Alright, so now the tank's out. I got the fuel pump out as well. I need to clean all this up, I do understand. But yes, fuel pump is sitting over here at the moment. So I took her out, took out the original fuel pump, which is that one there, and I don't know where the half went. There you go, over there. Sitting on the ground. It was in pretty bad condition, as you guys can see. A couple of 100,000 Ks will do that to your poor old Falcon. So that's going in the bin. And the one that I put in the car is this one right here. So what we're actually doing is the EFP 452 came with its own little filter. So it's a square filter. It's not a Falcon specific filter. What I did was I have it in this tank right now, and it's literally just pressed to the very bottom. And that's gonna filter up everything that's in there. But yes, the 460 is now in. It's retaining all the factory goodness. So now the next thing I need to do is go from this plug here to this plug here. Oh God, different coloring. Love that for me. Let's figure out exactly what this is. The other thing you guys will also want to do is at the very bottom of these, there is a like a restrictor or like a return little pipe thing. Weirdest thing, it returns back into like the surge. So this one at the very end, this little tiny thing, you need to drill out. Gene's been my savior. So, and then we can reinstall that one back into the bottom of this. And then also with the wiring, I found out that the gray is the positive there. The black is your ground, of course. And so after that, this will be ready to just drop straight back in the tank. All right, so I've gone through, I've cleaned all the surfaces up and everything. Mainly this green O-ring here. When I was speaking to Gene before, he was like, you must clean the O-ring and the mating surfaces, otherwise it's going to stink or leak. So I've cleaned all that, everything's done. This is all now ready to put back in the car. So we've attached now the level. We've done all of the wiring, everything else is ready to go. The fuel pump's in it. Although I did just use push clamps for these ones here, they do actually need to have a clamp on it just in case. So I'm going to quickly go grab some clamps. Luckily, your boy is currently at Autobarn in Pakenham. So the guys have actually all gone home. They've left me alone with the ute and the hoist and everything in the back. They are incredible. So if you guys do live in the area, or even don't live in the area, just make the trip out. They're all Japanese car enthusiasts. Some of them are even Australian car enthusiasts. And yeah, no, they've been absolutely amazing. They carry a massive range of raceworks, which is always why I'm here. So yeah, 100% come along, grab some stuff. Highly recommend it. I'm gonna go get some clamps. I'm gonna do some shopping. Alright guys, it is the next day. You guys might have noticed that all those clips were filmed on my iPhone and then my iPhone died. So I ended up doing the rest of the fuel pump there. It was quite simple. Once again, as soon as you put those clamps on, then you're right to drop that whole thing back down into the car, then just install the tank the opposite way as it came out. It was much easier. So that's how that is all done. And the 460 pretty much turnkey, straight up right away, drove home, all good to go. Now, the next thing I also did there was I did the FPR compact, which was a disgustingly easy install. Quickly show you guys what that looks like too. So the factory fuel pressure reg actually sits down the very back of the fuel rail right here. See if I can focus that one up for you guys. There we go. So the fuel pressure reg sits down the very back and it is literally held in place by a spring clamp. All you have to do is get a flathead screwdriver, release the spring clamp, and then the fuel pressure reg comes out. Take the vacuum line off, put the vacuum line on the new fuel pressure reg and put it down in place. Now I ended up taking off the gauge so I could get that spring clamp back in. It was being a little bit of a pain. pain, but either way, the gauge came off. Put the spring clamp on, wound the gauge back in. Now the next thing is, contrary to popular belief with Japanese cars, these Falcons actually have a higher base fuel pressure. So once you take that vacuum line off, you actually want to set that to not 40 like my other cars, you want to set that to 58. So take the vac line off, wind up the fuel all the way to 58 psi, put the vacuum line back on, and you're good to go. So now this entire fuel setup is sorted, apart from the 1000cc injectors that we got for this car, so they will be going in just before we do the tune at the same time. The fuel rail is very, very easy to remove, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, so it's easier just to remove the throttle body, take off the fuel rail, and just do the injectors in place. The injectors that I have, I'm pretty sure the part number is INJ213 or 215 or something similar, and what they will do is they actually give you the Raceworks adapters on top of the regular Bosch 1000cc injector, and they'll also be the right connectors as well to literally plug to the factory harness as well, so they will just be a straight swap. But aside from that, the fueling on the Ute is done. The 460 plus the FPR compact should be enough to get this thing up to my 500 horsepower goal. So very happy about that. But either way, today's video is sorted. So thank you very much everyone for watching. I very much appreciate it. This Ute has become a very large drainer on my life. I'll be completely honest. Taking a lot out of me to mod this thing and try and get it all sorted before the tune, so I can try and work out what the transmission's doing, so I can just try and get my cars to the track. It's blown way out of proportion. It's going so hectic, but it's nearing the end, so I'm very happy about that. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching. I very much appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.